So currently right now in your quick settings you have SIMV volume, you have CMV volume, and you have non-invasive. If you hit modes up at top, there we have it. So remember, I told you guys in the last video the CMV. So on a original vent, that would mean I would say set a rate of 12 and 500, and that's what I'm going to get. Now this CMV is not. So you say you set it at 12 and 500, the patient breathes their own breath or initiates a breath, then you're going to get whatever you set. Okay, so that's where it was kind of confusing. The original terminology is CMV on here. Alright, so SIMV, we went over that stays the same. And then we got pressure control volume, and we have pressure SIMV. So we'll show you like the different settings it's going to ask you to do. So these two are going to be the same. It's going to ask how many breaths and how much tidal volume you want. We'll go over the rest of that stuff later. So again, it's going to ask us for a tidal volume and a rate. Now where it's going to change. Okay, so now it's no longer going to ask us how much tidal volume we want. This is a pressure mode. So the standard, I mean, you could start an adult patient off at 10 over 5 is fine, and then just work your way up. With this vent, make sure we're set at 15 for our inspiratory pressure. But actually, we're at 20. This vent does not compensate your PEEP. So whatever your PEEP is, I'm going to push a button so it doesn't go off again. You have to add that to your top number, which I'll show you an easy way in a little bit to confirm if you ever forget. So again, now this is the pressure side of the SIMV. Here again we have no tidal volume, and we're going to be at 20. We always have to add the PEEP. Spontaneous is if you want to put someone in the room and just hook them up, and when they initiate a breath, we'll give them that spontaneous breath. I have the NIV on your quick tab, and the difference between these ones we'll go over. So these are your settings in NIV. So if you get the orders, the doctor says, hey, put them 10 over 5. How would we set that up?
5 over 5.
Guys are all smart.
Good job, Leslie.
Love it. So right now we would be 15 over 5, and then when we hit start, your peak inspiratory pressure would read 15 plus or minus 2. And that's how we know that, oh, hey, we forgot about that PEEP, or I had a brain fart and I couldn't do the calculations in my head. Just always resort back to this top left number. So in your NIV mode, you can set your IPAP, your EPAP, your percentage of oxygen, your flow trigger. So the higher we go up on the flow trigger, the harder it is for them to pull. The lower, the easier it is for them to pull. So that kind of comes into a comfort thing, or if you're moving them and you're gonna stimulate that tubing a lot. Your pressure limit, so it will never allow the pressure in your lungs to go over 30. So in the alarm, if you have it set at 30 and you have that super tight COPD patient or someone like that, you're going to have to adjust your alarm to get over that, because it will take that breath and it will decel 10 under that, so it doesn't go and then hit it, stop, so it starts to decel. The difference with NIVST, and I don't use this because I'm either in a helicopter or an ambulance, and I like to pay attention to my patient. This is going to give you a backup rate. I don't like that because if I have someone on a BiPAP, I want to know if they're going down quick. So if you're sitting at the nursing desk, you have a backup rate in there, you might not know. It might take you 3 times the amount to know. So if they stop breathing, I want to know. Alarms are going to go off and we can be over here, especially with a patient like that. Somebody, I guess maybe a more chronic patient on a BiPAP, I can see you using a backup rate, right? Someone that's not going to be monitored all the time. So that is the only difference between the NIVST and the NIV. So on your quick buttons on your home, oh, where's my home? I don't remember where my home button is. That's why I set these up. So you have your SIMV, your CMV, and your NIV. For the ideal body weight that we went over, the real quick way, she got tape measures. And I get looked at really weird, but every patient I go to, I take out a tape measure from head to toe and I measure them. And I have it in inches, so I will come here, female or male, whatever. I set my inches, and my ideal body weight's done for me. But I really want you guys to know where that comes from, right? That's good for that one.